Yeah, I was one of those employers. I'm not happy about it, but it's the truth. I mean, we're honest, right? Transparency. I had a hair salon and my girls originally were 1099s. And I did that because, I didn't want to pay taxes on them. What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of The Hair CEO, where we work on our business and not just in our business. I'm your host, Jennifer Drew, aka Jen Drewby. And as you know, we're in an 8-part series where we're talking about business taxes. And these are business taxes tailored specifically to self-employed individuals and business owners who are in the hair industry. So I'm talking about barbers, hairstylists, braiders, or if you just own a hair salon, braiding shop, you sell hair, anything to do with hair, then this is for you specifically. So this is actually our 4th episode related to business taxes. And if you've missed any of the other ones, I'm going to link the playlist above here so that you can have access to it. So today we're going to talk about the 1099 forms. We're going to talk about the 1099 NEC, the 1099 miscellaneous, and the 1099K. And we're really going to talk about what you do with those forms when you receive them and are you giving them out. So let's start with the 1099 NEC. And we're going to start there because this is the newest form, and I say new because it's really not new at all. It's just that it was reintroduced in 2020. This form was actually started back in 1980s, like maybe 1980 or early 80s, 80 or 81. But this was a form that was supposed to capture the income of non-employees because it stands for non-employee compensation, NEC. Now, what happened was they just added a box to the miscellaneous form, the 1099 miscellaneous, and then that miscellaneous form took over the NEC. But now things have gotten a little confusing. They've always been confusing, so they brought the form back, and now you're going to be seeing the 1099 NECs a lot more. So let's go over what you are to do if you receive this form. So if you receive a 1099 NEC, that means that you are not considered an employee of whoever gave it to you. Now, the hair industry is notorious for misclassifying workers who are actually employees as independent contractors. Now, this is a no judgment zone. I say that a lot because, I was one of those employers. I'm not happy about it, but it's the truth. I mean, we're honest, right? Transparency. I had a hair salon and my girls originally were 1099s. And I did that because, I didn't want to pay taxes on them. But I did switch over because I was scared straight. It didn't happen to me, but another hair salon that ran similar to mine, one of their employees contacted the Department of Labor or the IRS. I don't know which one they contacted, but they contacted somebody. And basically that business got the hammer thrown at them, penalties, back taxes, everything. And I was like, okay, I don't want that happening to me. So I went on ahead and switched my girls automatically. But if you are receiving a 1099 NEC, that means that you are classified as an independent contractor. I have another video where I talk about the differences between independent contractor and an employee, but there are different tests that you can go through to see if you should be classified as an employee or as a contractor. But when you receive that at the end of the year, this is basically a report, a summary of all of the income that you have received from that business for that particular year. And that's the form that you would need to take with you to file taxes because that's going to be proof of the income that you're going to claim. So that's the NEC. Now, the miscellaneous, like I mentioned, if you are being classified as an independent contractor, you should not be receiving this 1099 miscellaneous form anymore. As of 2021, you should now be receiving this 1099 NEC, but the barber asked, if you own a barber shop and you are renting out chairs, do I need to give my barbers 1099 NECs? And the answer to that it depends, right? So if you have a barbershop, and when I say barbershop, I'm talking about someone who has a braid shop or someone who has a hair salon and you're renting out chairs. Same concept, but I'm just going to continue to say a barbershop. So if you have a barbershop and you are renting out those chairs, then essentially the people who are renting from you are independent. They are self-employed. They are business owners, and they are just renting a chair. So you as the barbershop owner, the person who is renting the chair, you would not need to give out a 1099 NEC because you're not collecting money from them and giving it to them. You are just collecting rent. At that point, you are a landlord. And so you are not giving them a 1099 NEC. And I'd be curious, what would you be giving them a 1099 NEC for? Because you're not collecting their payments. Now, if you are a barbershop owner, and again, barbershop owner, hair salon owner, or braid shop owner, and you have a hybrid system. So let's say you are paying your barbers who rent chairs from you at, let's say you give them a discounted rate, because now you are collecting their payments and you're giving them a percentage of their earnings. So it's a hybrid in that sense. So they're not fully self-employed because they are getting a commission from you. Then at that point, maybe I'd have to have some other tests to see if it's really an independent contractor situation. But let's say in this particular situation, it is an independent contractor, then that's when you would give that barber or that hairstylist or that braider a 1099 NEC. Now, let's talk about the 1099 miscellaneous form. Now, again, this used to be widely distributed to independent contractors, but now they're getting that NEC. So what the miscellaneous form is for a limited amount of things. So it's really miscellaneous income, and that's considered like prizes or rents. So let's take this and dissect it and relate it back to hair services, right? So let's say you have a hair salon and you gave out a prize. You ran a raffle or something where you bought a TV. Let's say you bought an iPhone, whatever model, newest model, right? Those things are really expensive, $1,000 at the minimum, right? So let's say you had a promotion where you were going to give out this iPhone, whatever number model, and to a client or a new client or whatever. Maybe they had to tag you in a few pictures and a few IG posts or whatever, right? Whatever they had to do, and they won. Now, you paid $1,000 for this phone, let's say, but you gave it out as a prize. You should give that person who won a 1099 miscellaneous form because it's a prize and it has a monetary value of $1,000. So you would give them that form to say, hey, I gave you X amount, I gave you this and it was worth X. So it's a prize and you can report it on a 1099 miscellaneous. The other reason why you would give someone a miscellaneous is for those of you who are booth renting. So let's say you're renting out of a barber shop, or let's say you're in a suite and you're paying someone via check every month or every week. Then you could give that person a 1099 miscellaneous form because you're reporting the rent that you've paid. So that's when you would give someone a 1099 miscellaneous. And I know this isn't widely done, at least in the hair industry, from what I know, right? I mean, I don't know everybody, but it should be done, but it's not widely done. So barbershop owners, hair salon owners, braid shop owners, if you get a 1099 miscellaneous from your booth renters, don't get upset because that just means that they are filing it to the IRS. They're just being a good business owner. They are doing what they are required to do Don't get upset because now you know that that money has been reported to the IRS, because essentially that's what's happening, right? So they fill out this form, they fill out this 1099 miscellaneous, and they're saying, hey, if I'm the booth renter, I'm letting the IRS know, like, hey, I paid $12,000 in rent to XY barbershop. Well, the IRS is gonna be like, oh, thank you very much for letting us know. So now when XY files their tax return, they're gonna be looking for that miscellaneous 1099 form saying that they received $12,000 from me. That's what's happening, right? So don't get upset at those people. They're just being good business owners. So now let's talk about the 1099K. The 1099K, I'm going to talk about this more in next week's episode, because as I'm sure a lot of you have been hearing, with the laws changing, companies are going to start reporting, your credit card processing companies are going to start reporting when you make over $600. Right now, that threshold is $20,000. So that's a huge difference, right? So if you were to get a 1099K prior to 2022, then that would mean that you received more than $20,000 in credit card payments. So if you are with Square or Vagaro as examples, right, and you receive that, then that means that you've processed credit card payments, and they are giving you a summary of how many payments they collected on your behalf for your company. And again, you're going to want to report that with your tax filing for the year. I had a barber who, I think we were just talking about her business goals for 2022. And we were talking about making sure that she had all of her information ready for 2021's filing. And she just happened to mention, she was like, oh yeah, I got a W-2 from Vagaro. And it was like, whoa, red flags. And I'm just like, you would not get a W-2 from Vagaro. What are you talking about? Show me this form. So she pulled it up and it was a 1099K. So she had made over that threshold of $20,000 with Vagaro processing her payments. And I'm so glad she showed me this, because we need to make sure that she has that when she files her tax return for 2021, because Vagaro already reported that information. Now, of course, as business owners, we have to collect all of the income, but it's always a good idea to understand or know what the IRS knows. And these forms are essentially giving you insights into what the IRS already knows, because they're waiting for you to file. But if they already know something and something doesn't add up, then that's going to throw off red flags to the IRS and just, make you more susceptible to an audit. So you just want to make sure of that. I hope this has been helpful, and I hope you have a better understanding of the different 1099s and when to give them out and when to expect to receive them. If this has been helpful, please like, rate, subscribe. Shoot this, send a copy of this to a barber, hairstylist, or braider that you know. Sharing is caring. And I will see you on the next episode.